Now, they are our fur babies until one day you bring home your actual bundle of joy. How do we prepare for our pets to meet our new baby? Our pregnancy expert, Judith Schuler, has the best way to make this meeting go well. You know what? I'm that person.
Yes.
Because my dog, Stout, is my fur baby. But I do know one day I will have a bundle of joy. And that is already, to me, a little nerve-wracking. Because I think that Stout may be a little jealous.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Just like regular children, if you're anybody in a family other than the baby, you've been displaced
Right.
when the new brother or sister comes home. Well, your animal can feel displaced too. And that causes some jealousy and some behavior problems and things. So we suggest that you prepare your animal, your pet that you have in your home every day.
Yep.
Start preparing them during your pregnancy.
Okay.
For the arrival of the new baby.
What kind of preparation?
Well, first of all, you want to make sure they're healthy. So you need a vet check. You need to go and make sure that any little infections or parasites or anything like that's taken care of, that they're all up to date on their vaccinations and shots. And if they're not neutered or spayed, it's a good time because neutering a male animal can reduce aggression.
Okay.
And, you know, spaying a female animal is just, you don't want to have to deal with an animal going into heat while you've got a new baby.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to have, you know A1 in the health department.
Okay, now this has nothing to do with the set of questions sitting on my piece of paper in front of me. I'm asking as a personal question.
Okay.
Should we also maybe be tapering off how much, I guess, attention we give?
That's a big thing. You've got, when you bring your baby home, people don't realize the first baby, how much time and attention you're going to give
Yeah.
to your baby. And so during pregnancy, there are a lot of things you need to start addressing.
Yeah.
Attention and how much time you spend with them, where they eat, what their exercise schedule is, and where they sleep. Because if they've been in your room, in your bed, you probably don't want them, you know, a lot of people keep the babies in a bassinet or a crib in their bed for like the first 6 or 7 months just because it's recommended by the Pediatrics Association. So, you know, having a dog in there too is maybe, or your cat is maybe not a good idea.
Okay.
So you need to start, and you don't do it like boom,
Right.
you know, your dog is kicked out. You've got to gradually move them
Yeah.
you know, a little farther and farther, and you've got, it can take months to do this because dogs and cats, well, more dogs than cats, but pets like routine just like babies
Yeah.
do. And so they get into the habit of, this is where I know our dogs, strikes 5 o'clock and they're just ready to eat.
They know it, yeah.
They know it. And so when you're changing that and you've got to, maybe you're going to go to a grazing, you're going to let your dog eat when it needs to, then you've got to start doing that now.
Now, I also hear that when we have that 9 months really to kind of prep the dog, but when you're bringing home the baby first day, I guess I heard or read somewhere that you shouldn't make it a big deal around the dog. You shouldn't, you know, we want the dog not to think that the baby is, you know, a thing. Yeah, is that a good?
Well, one of the things that we suggest is before you bring baby home, after baby has been born, you know, you'll have blankets or you'll have a sleeper or something the baby's wearing in the hospital. Bring that home so the dog can or cat can smell it. Put out all the things that you're going to have for baby, like the crib and the changing table and the rocker and everything in where you're going to keep it. Let the animals become familiar with it. Don't let them sleep on the stuff. That's not a good idea,
Right.
but let them at least know what it's like. Some people actually record a baby's crying because that can be very, very distressing to an animal. And, you know, it's a lot of different things. That's a cutie pie.
Yeah, Alex, this video that you're picking is killing us. But it is.
It is.
It's going to be a...
And one thing I would suggest is when you bring your animals home, make sure you can't do it with a cat.
Right.
But with a dog, they know the basic commands: come, sit,
Yep.
stay, down, off. And keep your dog on a leash.
Yes.
That's very important. And I know this is very hard, especially after we saw those really cute videos. Don't leave your baby alone with your animals.
No matter how much you think your dog is, yeah.
My grandson, my daughter-in-law's a vet, And so she should have known better, but he was like 8 months old and he was crawling.
Yeah.
And he crawled over by the older dog's food dish and he nipped him in the face.
See, it can happen to any
It can
family.
happen to anyone.
I know, Judith. I needed you to come in and talk about this because, like I said, I had even personal questions. We saw Stout there on the screen a few moments ago. I'll show Stout any day. But Judith, I'm going to let them know how they can get a hold of your books. To learn more about your pregnancy, make sure to check out Judith Schuler's series of books. For more details, log on to yourpregnancybook.com.